Okay, here are the example questions for using ratios. Example A says there are 14 girls and 18 boys in your math class and wants to know what the ratio of girls to boys is. So we need to just write out our sort of fraction here. We know that there are 14 girls and there are 18 boys. And note that I did put them in that order. I said girls first, and then boys, because that's what it asked the ratio was, the ratio of girls to boys. We might have written it this way, girls to boys, or we might have written girls to boys. In any case, the starting ratio is 14 to 18, and we can simplify that ratio because 14 and 18 both divide by 2. So that means our simplified ratio would be 7 to 9, or 7/9, or 7 to 9. All right, let's take a look at example B. Simplify the following ratios. We have 7 feet to 14 inches. So we're going to use something called dimensional analysis here, which has an obnoxiously long name, but is really actually a very simple process. What we want to do is make sure before we compare our ratios that we're using the same units. We have feet here on top and inches on the bottom. And we can't really convert or compare the numbers 7 to 14 because 7 represents something different than 14 does. So the number 7/14, so the ratio 7/14 doesn't really mean anything. So we need to get rid of the feet and ideally get rid of the inches because the simplified ratio does not have units. Now what I know about feet is that there are 12 inches in a foot. And I also know that I can take a fraction and multiply it by 1 without changing it. So I could actually take this fraction or this ratio 7/14 and multiply it by 12 inches divided by 1 foot. Now since 12 inches is 1 foot, this is the same thing, top and bottom. This is essentially something divided by itself. 12 inches divided by 1 foot. Now what's nice about that is since I'm multiplying fractions, I can cancel top to bottom, right? Well, here I have feet on top and feet on the bottom, so those cancel. And I have inches on the bottom and inches on top, so those cancel. And now I don't have any units, which is good because we wanted a simplified ratio. So now we have 7 times 12, or 84 on top, and we have 14 times 1, or just 14 on the bottom. Now, turns out 84 divides evenly by 14, so we get 6/1, which means that our ratio is either 6 to 1, or if you like, 6 to 1, or if you like, 6 to 1. Cool. All right, our second one here, we have 9 meters to 900 centimeters. So let's go ahead and write that vertically. Let me change colors. So we have 9 meters to 900 centimeters. Well, now there's 100 centimeters in a meter because the prefix centi means 1/100th. So we have 100 centimeters in 1 meter. So now I'm taking my original fraction, multiplying it by 1. And our centimeters will cancel top and bottom, and our meters will cancel top and bottom, which gives us 9 times 100, or 900 on top with no units because they all canceled out, and 900 times 1, or 900 on the bottom with no units because they all canceled out. So our ratio is 900 to 900, which is 1 to 1, or 1 to 1. Yeah. And then finally, our third ratio here, we have gallons over gallons, so we can just cancel those directly. And then we have 4 out of 16. Well, 4 and 16 both divide by 4. So our last ratio here is 1/4, or 1 to 4. Cool. And then finally, example C. Example C says, a talent show has dancers and singers. The ratio of singers to dancers is 3 to 2. If there are 30 performers total, how many of each are there? Well, our ratio we know is 3 to 2. And in this case, we know there's 30 total. Now we know that if the ratio is 3 to 2, there must be some number of groups of 3 dancers and some other number of groups of 2 singers to make up that total of 30, right? Well, groups of means we're multiplying. So if we have 3 times x, that would represent the number, mysterious, we don't know yet what it is, number of dancers. And 2 times x will be the same number of groups of singers. So then we can say that 3x plus 2x equals 30, our total number of performers. That means that 5x equals 30. And if I divide both sides by 5, it means that x equals 6. So if our mysterious number of groups is 6, then we have 3 times 6, or 18 dancers, and 2 times 6, or 12 singers. That's all she wrote.